Here like fleeing. Hey, it's Madison Chase, and this is It's Yes or No. It's your entertainment source or news option, and all the way in Wisconsin. This is my girl Stefztv. Say hey to the peoples.
That is me, yo. I'm here in Wisconsin. The weather's still good. Oh, it's gonna start snowing soon, though. It's gonna be shitty. No, I'm kidding.
All right, Snowy.
Yeah.
Okay.
What's up? Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say you forgot the. Oh yeah, we're thinking about the snow, which is oh no.
Oh no. Oh yeah. Oh
Okay, so today we're talking about Amber Rose and Channing Tatum. Steph is gonna break the story down, but I know from what we talked about before we're shooting or doing this live, you said that they both have a similar past, meaning that they're both strippers, but the stigma that's placed on them now and kind of how people brand and label them are two completely different things. So let's hear this story. I'm curious.
Yeah, so pretty much, I mean, the highlights are Amber Rose wants to know why she and Channing Tatum, who are both former strippers, but he doesn't have the stigma she does. And she was quoted by saying, I run 8 businesses, I'm CEO of my own company, and I'm still called a stripper. It's so ridiculous we had the same life. Which, I mean, I agree and I disagree. This is why I wanted to talk to you about this, because I can see how what she's saying is valid, but there's also certain things that she does in her day-to-day that might make that stigma stay. So kind of that's what I've been kind of going for. So, and it says, you know, Amber Rose can't go very long without someone describing her as a former stripper. They rarely mean it in a positive way. But Amber has a really good point. Channing Tatum is a former stripper too, but nobody ever refers him to as a former stripper Channing Tatum. And people even seem to think it's cool and sexy that he took off his clothes for money. And even on top of that, they've made Magic Mike, the movie, about his stripping life. So there's a lot of going on with Amber and Channing Tatum. Now, my question to you is, right off the bat, do you think women have a harder time losing a stigma like this than men do?
Okay, so here's the thing that I would say to Amber. Like, I think she's a beautiful girl, but part of the culture that she's rocked in and been successful in has been African American men that tend to focus on big butts, big fake whatever. Like, we love big boobs. They love big booties. So I think because if you look at probably all of her businesses, I don't know what all of her businesses are. I think if you look at somebody like the Kardashians, like her business and their show was built around her sex tape, right? She still does very sexually provocative things on her Instagram page, but I think the bulk of her business is kind of more associated with beauty and not booty. And I think Amber, because she still does very sexually explicit things on her social media pages, where I know she did like a slut walk something or rather, where she kind of did this walk against people slut shaming her. And the thing about that is, like, it's one thing for you to come from that background. Like Nicki Minaj, she used to be a stripper. We see her going to strip clubs, like her and Rob, I think after she got engaged, they went to a strip club. But her beauty product, I think she has like a nail product or something that's so, like, it's so far away from the stripping world. You know what I'm saying? Like, she doesn't have a bikini line. She doesn't have anything where people still see you in that same light. So I think had Amber Rose said, yes, I'm a stripper, and now I want to be an actress, or now I want to be a singer, or now I want to be something else, and your businesses look like that's something else, but because you still kind of put yourself in that scantily clad, I'm doing butt shots, I'm letting you kind of like still objectify me as a woman who's in a strip club, but I kind of have on some clothes. And I've seen Amber out in like getting her nails done with her mom, and I think she's a beautiful person. But I think if you keep showing the sexy side, people are still gonna associate you with being a stripper. Like if we look at Channing Tatum's Instagram and his social media page, I'm sure that he's not showing his, you know, pictures with him and his whatever he wore when he was in the strip club. He's moved on to being an actor, so that's what people know him as. So I think it's not really a fair question or a fair argument, because when you stack up their social media pages, what do they look like? Does your page still look like a stripper, or does your page still look like an actor? Like Channing Tatum's social media page is him being an actor, a husband, a father. Her page still has everything to do with, yeah, I'm a stripper, stop calling me a stripper, I'm sexy, here's my booty shots, here's my big booty this and whatever. So even her talk show, she's talking about sex. Like, if you want to get away from being called a stripper, stop doing behavior that's so socially and sexually uninhibited.
Well, I think what you did there is you kind of mixed two of my questions up together.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to.
No. I like it because they do go hand in hand, which I think a lot of times we overlook. So my first question just being like, right off the bat, take away all her social media, take away all that stuff. Do you think women have a harder time? Because for me, I think the answer is yes. I think even you and I, if you or I were to go out and make out with 10 people, you know, we'd be called a slut. If a guy was to do it, he's a player and he's cool. So like just the bare bones of that, do you think that women have slightly a tougher time when it comes to getting a stigma in revolving around being sexual?
Absolutely. And here's why I think we have a harder time. We have a harder time because we tend to do what men tend to do to us, because they're typically the people, men are in positions of power, and we know that the oldest business in the world is prostitution. But you can't have a prostitute unless you have men actually buying them. You can't have strip clubs unless you actually have men that actually go to strip clubs that pay money to see women dancing. So yeah. I think that's why we have a harder time, because we tend to put the labels that men put on us, because they don't want to be held accountable for the same behavior. Like, I don't want to date a dude who has more than 2 baby mamas. So I still call that man a hoe. Like, period. So I think it's up to women to start doing the same thing that men do to us. Like, I'm not going to give you the power to say, oh yeah, because I've been with X amount of men, even though I haven't been with any men or women. But I'm just saying, the fact that is something that we judge people on. But I think men tend to do it to women, but women don't do it enough to men. Like, we don't hold them accountable. And there is a double standard when it comes to, men that are virgins versus women that are virgins. Like, it's still kind of the same thing, but men who sleep with a lot of women, to me, you're still a hoe. Like, you're a hoe.
Well, I mean, I could talk about this for hours, because even in that, the women, we want the same rights, we want the same everything, but yet we're still in to go work at strip clubs to get the money from the man and kind of still give the man the power. So it's all messed up is what I'm trying to say.
It's super jacked up. So you can't say you don't want a certain kind of behavior when you're willing to do certain kinds of jobs. Like,
because money can't talk when it comes to that stuff. I'm with you, girl. That's why I won't go to strip clubs.
And even when I look at, like, when we look at how people judge how many followers you have on your social media pages, like being in fitness, like, I refuse to show butt pictures with my thong. Like, that has nothing to do with fitness. To me, it's just another form of being objectified that women, even in fitness, tend to do very often, where we allow ourselves to be objectified and say, oh, well, I'm just a model. No, you're not. You're borderline soft porn, borderline allowing men to objectify you, but then you get mad when they objectify you. Like, you can't have it both ways. So
I'm so with you, girl.
Yeah, so it doesn't make sense. I think we have a harder time, but I think we have a harder time because we put ourselves in certain positions to be objectified. And, you know, and we don't turn the tables. Like, I'm totally the advocate. Like, I have certain standards for myself. Like, just like, I think if you have more than, you know, one child, two children, three children, five children, like, I love Sierra, but I never in a million years could understand, why would you date somebody? You're the 8th baby mama, 7th baby mama. Like, this man has had his unprotected penis in at least 7 women that we know of. Like, he's a hoe, period, point blank. So I think women need to start doing that and judging men the way that they judge us.
I'm with you. Amen. I'm with you. All right. So the answer to that question is yes. Now, the question that you collapsed with that I'm going to circle back to is, do you think that Amber Rose's posts and her social media play a part in her stigma? Which clearly we think the answer is yes, I believe.
I mean, I would say unequivocally 120%, 1,000%, 1,000,000%. Your posts have everything to do with why this is not even a valid argument. Like, if you want to be considered something other than a stripper, start doing the other damn thing. Like, if you want to be considered a great mother, start showing posts of you being a great mother. If you want to show posts of you being a great daughter, start showing posts of you being a great daughter. If you want to show posts of you having a successful business that has nothing to do with your body, sex, bikinis, your look, your booty, sex.
Right.
You can't separate the two. The stigma is only on you because you continue to post that kind of stuff where people are going to objectify you. So they're going to say, oh yeah, it makes sense. That's stripper behavior. You're trying to do whatever you can to get eyes on you.
All you want that attention.
Yeah.
All you want that attention. And then you're going to complain about it when you get it because you think that people are stupid enough. Like, you think you can manipulate people by giving you the attention you want just by showing no clothes. But people aren't, like, that's not the way it works. You know what I'm saying?
Like that. Yeah. Like, if you don't want to be considered a stripper and you don't want people to talk about your past, stop making your past dictate your future by doing behavior that allows people to objectify you, to continue to objectify you. Like, yes, we know doing the famous look at my butt picture is the stuff that people do in all the Instagram pages. But if you don't want people to objectify your butt, then stop putting it towards the camera and stop talking about it and start talking about the things that you want people to take you seriously for. Like, if you want to be an actor, start acting. If you want to be a singer, start singing. But even her talk show, I don't know if it's still on or how well it did, but I watched a couple of shows and she had, you know, famous friends on there, like French Montana, that's her friend, and they talked about, you know, some sexual situations. So I get it. Like, even though I talk about relationships and sex, but it comes from a different perspective of waiting till it's the right person, waiting till you get married. It comes from a whole lot of different perspectives, not I used to be a stripper, and because that's, if you don't want people to focus on and start doing behavior that doesn't look like a stripper.
No, I hear you, man. I mean, and I get it. I get sex sells, but there's a way to talk about it tastefully and be influenced in a way that's positive rather than just trying to show you tits and ass and getting looks. That's it.
And I agree. Like, if we look at somebody like Selena Gomez, who has, I think they did I don't know if they did a study, but they looked at who had the most followers and kind of what their posts look like. Selena Gomez has the most followers, but guess what she's not posting?
Nakedness.
I think she may have like maybe 1 or 2 like pictures of her in a bikini, but she's not doing that. Like, oh, I want to be so sexy. I want to.
Which to me is not sexy at all. Like, when you're trying to post, when you're trying to be, or anyone is trying to be sexy, it comes off so not sexy. Like, the effortless sex appeal is what is sexy. For all you out there, like, that's what's sexy. And I think that I'm not alone in thinking that. Like, I get it. Opinions are like assholes. Everybody has one. But in the same sense, when you are trying to be sexy, more times than not, it is not sexy.
I so agree. But I think when you have a bunch of men who are still boys, who still, you know, watch porn, who still watch soft porn, who still get off on those kinds of images. And you know that there are more men like that around the world, which we're not even looking at kind of some of the things that it starts to incite, you know, the child pornography, like, oh, is she 18? I shouldn't be looking at that picture. Like, I think it's a fine line. So I think you can't, I don't know. I mean, I think there's freedom of expression, but I would think as a wife, or becoming someone's wife. And I've heard Aisha Curry, like she has a very popular page, and she kind of got, people had a lot to say about her being like, she dresses very modestly. And she's like, I dress this way out of respect for my husband. And that's what I think a respectable woman should do. Like, if I'm gonna be sexy, it's gonna be in the bedroom with my man, not with millions of people watching me on Instagram. But I think that's the generation we live in. I think that's the social media where people have kind of, you know, that's how they've made money and that's how they get followers. So if you don't want that kind of attention, you got to stop seeking that kind of attention.
I'm with you, girl. I couldn't agree with you more. I'm kind of stoked that we both agree and feel this way. But that's why we do stuff like this, because we're, you know, even though we are so different, we are so the same. And that's why I love chatting to you about stuff that matters.
Yes, I so agree, Stefztv. So I think that was all the questions. That was a good story. I didn't think, I like Amber Rose. Again, like, this is not to shame her. And, you know, I saw her getting her nails done with her mom, and I was like, wow, she's really sweet to her mom. You could tell they have a really great relationship. So this is not about me personally trying to shame her. I wish I was her friend. I say, hey, Amber, if you want to change that stigma, start focusing on the things that you want to focus on. If that's being an actress, be an actress, and, you know, change kind of your makeup. But here's the thing about that. Like, when you look at somebody like Kim Kardashian, who built an empire on a sex tape, she's been asked to be in Tyler Perry movies before. So,
well, let's get it straight. Kim Kardashian didn't build an empire on a sex tape. Kris Jenner built an empire on her daughter's sex tape, who's a very smart businesswoman.
Yeah, is it a business, or is it just, yeah, because Ryan Seacrest,
it's business. Maybe it's tasteless and emotionless and crazy, and we might not agree with it, but at the end of the day, it's business. That family making money.
Hey, you know what? Here's the thing. Like, if you're willing to, you know, build an empire on that, and, you know, your little sisters are kind of following in that same path, except for Kendall is the model and Kylie is the, I get it mixed up. I don't know who's who, but one of them is a model, and then the other one I think is, you know, she's got the lipstick line or whatever. So yeah, it's definitely, is a smart business. Is it a business that I would, you know, want to be in? Like, I'm so modest, and I think sexy is, like you said, like, I don't think anytime you're trying to be sexy is too much, but there's so many simple men who are still boys, or boys who haven't become men yet, that, you know, they want to see that kind of stuff. And so because they want to see it, it makes money, and people know that putting them in their movies makes money. So if I were Amber, I would really try to follow somebody like Selena Gomez, or follow another page where it's not, they're focused on the things that they want to focus on, and people aren't really, like, nobody really talks about the sex tape anymore, because she's built such an empire with her whole family in the show and the sisters, that nobody says, oh yeah, Kim Kardashian that had the sex tape.
No, I'm with you. I think it's like there's a tip of it's all like the snowball effect. It's like, you know, this Amber Rose just kind of keeps building the snowball and pushing and pushing and pushing. And it's like Kim Kardashian's snowball kind of melted a little bit. Yeah, I mean, it's still there. We all still know, but it's not like getting bigger and bigger and bigger. Like, she doesn't do anything to make it bigger.
Yes, I agree. And even if you look at kind of the way she looks now, like, I feel like she's trying to look more natural, other than her butt. Like, her makeup looks more natural. Like, I think the last time we talked about her, you talked about how her face was glowing. And I think part of it was kind of like that Alicia Keys, I'm not wearing as much makeup, or my makeup looks more natural.
Right.
makes a difference.
Alicia Keys is
I
looking
think it
good
actually.
lately.
Say it again.
Alicia Keys is looking good lately.
Oh no, she's beautiful, and I love that she's not wearing as much makeup. Like she's more natural. I think it's beautiful, and it speaks to women like kind of owning up, being a woman, like a real woman, and not the plastic, fake woman that most men say they don't like. Stop lying. Yes, you do.
Stop lying. You like the fake titties. Stop lying.
The fake titties and the fake booty. I think black men like the fake booties and white men like the fake boobs.
Yeah, it's all fake, dude. Come on. Don't say you don't like it. You know you like it. Some girl coming with it, you're going to take it.
I think that's it. That was a good conversation. Thanks, Steph.
I like that one a lot.
That was good. So yeah, I'm Madison Chase, and thanks for watching. It's yes or no. It's your entertainment source or news option. You can find me on YouTube. Please make sure that you like, subscribe, leave a comment if you want to join us the next time and do like a live Q&A. We'd love to do that. I'm still trying to figure this thing out because again, this is actually our second time doing YouTube streaming live from YouTube and not Google. So yeah, it's not as hard as I thought it was going to be. And I'm also on Twitter at Madison Chase Fit and Instagram, Madison Chase Fitness. Steph, where can everybody find you?
You guys can find me on Instagram and Twitter. I am Stefztv. That's IAMSTEFZ. And my YouTube channel is Stefztv. But you can find me right here. Get on Madison a lot as well. Super fun.
Bye.
Hey.